it's Jenny Hoops. I'm a 3-time Guinness World Record holder for hula hooping, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own hula hoops. So personally, I like to make my own hula hoops because I can customize them just the way I like, and it's much more affordable than buying them individually. So if you've never made a hula hoop before, it should take you 20 to 30 minutes and roughly $50 to get started. But with these materials, you should be able to get 8 hula hoops, which comes down to a bit under $7 a hula hoop, which is a bargain in my books. So first of all, you'll need to find the tubing itself, and so it's called polyethylene or poly tubing, and it can be found in the plumbing section of a hardware store. And the diameter of the tubing can be 3/4 inch, which is 19 millimeters, or 1 inch, which is 25 millimeters. And there isn't a huge difference between the two, aside from the thicker one being a bit more expensive, but it's all up to your budget. And so once you've figured out the thickness of the tubing, you'll get a join. And so you'll see that it's symmetrical on each side. It's called a barbed join. And so each end of the tube will go into this, and then it will make a perfect circle. And so they're probably about $2 each, but you can probably get a discount if you buy them in larger sets. And then lucky last is gaffer tape. So this is great for giving you a bit of extra grip, and it doesn't leave a sticky residue. So if you want to change the color, it'll be nice and easy. And ideally getting tape that is about 1 inch or 25 millimeters wide. Alrighty, and so with all these different pieces, you'll probably have other pieces that you'll have at home that you won't need to buy. And so for measuring tape, the cloth kind is ideal. And then a saw or a serrated knife like a bread knife and a chopping board to cut with. And then something to heat up the ends of the hula hoop. So we have a hairdryer, or if you don't have a hairdryer, you can use a boiling hot pot of water on the stove, which will work just as well. So there are some steps here that are quite noisy or really boring, and so I'll just time lapse through those so you won't have to go through that. So there's 5 steps to making a hula hoop. First, we have to measure how much tubing we'll need. 2, we then cut the tubing. And then 3, we heat up the ends of the tubing with our hairdryer or with a pot of boiling water. And then 4th, we use this join to join the 2 ends to make the circle. And then 5, lucky last, we apply the grip tape to the outside. So if we want to figure out how much tubing we're going to need, we have to think about the diameter of the hoop that we're making. And so if you're starting off, picking a diameter that is the distance between the ground and your belly button is ideal, and you can add a few inches if you want the hula hoop to be a bit easier to use, or you can take away a few inches if you want a more challenging hula hoop. And then next, we'll cut the hula hoop. So I'll just do this in fast motion for you. So now that we have the tube cut to the length that we desire, we'll heat both ends up until they're soft and pliable, and then we can use the barb joiner to connect them. And so we can use either our hairdryer or boiling hot water on the stove, and it should take about 30 seconds for it to heat up. And so just be careful that you don't burn yourself. So I'll just do a time lapse for this section too, so you don't have to listen to the noisy hairdryer. So now that our hula hoop has been joined, it's ready to be taped. So this is the most time-consuming part of the process, especially if you're a perfectionist. So what I would recommend is when you start taping, try and get a decent grip on it and apply even pressure as you go around. And so when you put the tape on an angle, you sort of want the gaps between them to be about the same. And I guess put a TV show on or something just to make it worth your while. And so I'll chuck in a time lapse here for the last time I did a bunch of taping. And so this is back in Chicago, and yeah, it's kind of a fun throwback actually. I hope you enjoyed making a hula hoop with me, and if you end up making your own, I would love to see it. Like always, if you have any questions or any content you'd like to see about hula hooping, let me know and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you later. Hoop on!